Welcome back, my legends, and today we're going to talk about the Lovalk ship. Now, for the longest time, my degenerates, I have thought to myself, you know what? Lovalk is not bad, it's just that Loba lore is just better, which was the problem with this love triangle they were trying to do, because unfortunately, Bangalore and Loba's relationship has been developing since season 5 all the way up to the end of season 9, and so because of this, when Valkyrie was introduced to the story and they tried to make Loba and Valkyrie a thing, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel natural. It felt like they were forcing it to make a love triangle. And because of that, in the relationship that Loba and Bangalore established early on, it didn't feel like Valkyrie had any shot of winning Loba's heart. But all that changed today, my legends, with the new animation called Ready for Takeoff. And in this animation, we actually see Loba and Valkyrie have an actual deep conversation. Instead of like cheesy flirting here and there, no, they actually have a deep conversation about their traumatic past, the trauma they experience and carry since they were kids, and them focusing their life trying to get revenge on the person that they thought killed their dad. And so what this short established is that Loba and Kyrie have a lot of things in common than what they initially thought, and this is why the title is called Ready for Takeoff, because the writers are trying to establish that Lovalk could actually happen. And you know you did a good job as a storyteller when the hardcore Loba lore shippers are, and I quote, devastated, and one superfan Loba lore shipper named Lex wrote an entire Twitter paragraph trying to convince themselves that there's no way the writers did 5 seasons of development with Loba and Bangalore for them not to end up together by the end of the story. And so for them, this is devastating, but for Lovalk shippers and people like me, this is finally entertaining, because now there's an actual reason to keep up with this story. There's now an actual race for Loba's heart. And so now let's talk about what happened in the cinematic. In the beginning of the cinematic, we see that Valkyrie was kind of shocked and surprised that Loba was in the firing range, shooting her gun and basically trying to blow off some steam. And what makes this interesting is that Loba expected Kyrie to do this. So it looks like they were both surprised that they have something in common that they normally do by themselves. And so in the next scene, Kyrie says that she is one of the best shots in the Outlands, which Loba says that there's some competition for that. Now, in Kyrie's head, she thought she was talking about Bangalore, because Bangalore is friends with Rampart, but Rampart is also friends with Valkyrie. And so I just assumed that Rampart told Valkyrie everything about Bangalore, about how she used to be an ex-IMC soldier and that she has a really good shot. And so because of this, I think this is why Kyrie thought that she was talking about Loba, but she was talking about Revenant. And so then they have this conversation about how Revenant is kind of living rent-free in Loba's head. And the longer she thinks about him and her trying to get revenge, the uglier it's going to get. Basically, she was trying to suggest that she was gonna get consumed by her revenge, because just like Valkyrie, she flew across the entire universe with her mom and made a lot of enemies trying to get to Kuban Blisk, and in the end she realized that killing him would not bring her dad back or bring her any closure, and also he wasn't the one that killed her dad. And so speaking of dads, Loba also tried to tell her that this is kind of personal, because she saw her dad died right in front of her, which made her start her quest to get revenge on Revenant, which is similar to Valkyrie's story. When she found her dead dad's body inside his Titan, that's when she decided to cross the universe to try to get to Kuban Blisk. And so what Valkyrie is trying to suggest to Loba is that if she still has Revenant's source code tucked away under a box, to basically destroy it, even if that's what Revenant wants, to die, because by letting him live, she's not going to be able to live her life. Which is kind of the reason why Loba has not decided to either be with Valkyrie or Bangalore, because Revenant is keeping an eye on Loba to see who she chooses, and then he'll probably strike, which Valkyrie thinks he's all talk at this point. And in the end, they have a shooting contest, which is kind of funny, because you know who hasn't had a shooting contest with Loba? Bangalore, which is strange, because I thought Bangalore loved guns and telling me how guns work when I didn't ask. And yeah, my legends, that'll be the Lovalk ship. I'll see you next time. Peace.